Well, this weekend is Valentine's Day. Tomorrow, in fact, if you have forgotten. There's still time, but there's not a lot, so you should be getting scurrying to get ready if you have somebody to celebrate with. But not everybody does. Some people are feeling a little more the vibes of Friday the 13th, which is where we are today. Jackie Dorman is a dating coach who is joining us right now. She just released a new book, Modern Dating Sucks. Subtle. Modern Dating Sucks, a matchmaker's guide to finding love in a swipe left world. Jackie, you're a dating and romance expert. Thanks for joining us. How's everybody doing out there?
People are not doing good. They're a little bit crashing out. And part of the reason is that, as you can see, the world's on fire, all of your news leading up to this segment, and people are just overstimulated. And then just go ahead and take overstimulation and try to meet strangers on the internet. Now that really doesn't go together, does it?
It is undeniably a complicated and complex time in our world. And
Yes.
you could, I think, make a strong case that it is more present in our daily lives than ever before. You pick up a telephone. I don't want to show it here, but I got push notifications after push notification after push notification. How do people navigate this when they're out trying to find love?
I think the very first thing we have to do is do a dopamine reset. So we have to stop doom scrolling and then going on dates because our cortisol is going on those dates with us. And so we're like, oh, we don't feel chemistry or we don't really feel like it's a match or a fit, but also we're kind of burnt out. And so many people are reporting burnout with dating, but I think it's just burnout in general. And so we got to reset. We got to take some time to kind of pull away. And then after we reset, let's go back and see how we feel then.
Is there, rewind a handful of years and at the dawn of the, swipe left, swipe right age and dating apps, some people, at least at the time, were making the case, hey, this just opens up the opportunities for people to find somebody who's a great match for them. Fast forward now to the present. Is technology helping or hurting the road to finding a partner?
Well, it depends on how you approach it. It's a tool like any other tool. And if you're approaching it with the right heart, you can be in the right place at the right time with the right heart and it can work. But if you show up there and you're outsourcing your love life to technology, that's a bad mistake, right? You still have to be the matchmaker. And so you have to know what you want. You have to have clarity and consistency. And I think non-negotiables before you get on the app, because a lot of people are confusing attention with intention. You got to be intentional if you're going to use this technology.
Talk more about that, the difference in your view between attention and intention.
Well, a lot of people think that they want to blame everything else, right? Their exes, the dating apps, the dating culture, which is trash. I will say it is. But at the same time, we're never stuck on the outside. We're always stuck on the inside. So if you take a little time to reset, kind of figure out what you want, what are your non-negotiables? Why are you even out here wanting to partner? What's your intention in wanting a partner in the first place? You'll be more likely to meet someone or attract someone with the same intentions.
This is obviously a very pertinent, timely conversation as we head into a weekend that, if we're being honest, carries different emotions for different people. Some people love Valentine's Day. It is a time to celebrate love and all the good things that go along with it. Other people who can feel pressure. People who are in relationships can feel pressure on Valentine's Day. People out of relationships can feel pressure to find relationships. It's a different kind of weekend day for everybody. What advice would you give to people who span that spectrum of emotions as they get ready for Valentine's Day?
I think they need to stop looking at the highlight reel. We see so many posts about, hashtag in love and Valentine's Day. But the truth is that a lot of that's just for the highlight reel. It's just for the social media world. Do it for the gram. It's important if you have a partner, to celebrate your partner all the time, not just one day a year. And then for people that don't have a partner, just understand that it's not all rainbows and butterflies over here. Relationships take hard work and they take heart work.
Hard work and heart work. Let me ask you this question because I think, I don't want to share my emotions, my feelings too much about this, but I think it's fair to say this. I know better than to look at my phone and doom scroll for hours on end, right? And I try not to do that. And I know all my friends, folks my age, will say the same thing. We know better. But if we're being honest, sometimes we still do it anyway. We know what we're seeing on Instagram is the highlight reel of everybody else's life. We know it's not real life, but it can still get into our psyches. What advice do you give to people to parse that out?
Well, you can use other tech like the Brick app where you can lock your phone down if you know that you have a scrolling problem. Because the truth is that it's just all about the dopamine. I go back to the dopamine reset. When I was a teenager in the 90s, dopamine was a guy looking at you from across the room and look away, look again, look away. And now it's all these scrolling, it's all these sound bites and all this different stuff that's just made for it's made for the dopamine. And so we've got to reset ourselves so that we can actually let our nervous systems come back to that factory setting so that we can really see what it is that we enjoy.
You talk about going back to factory settings. On some level, is a lot of this about getting back to real life?
Absolutely, it is. We do something in my program last year, single called community-based matchmaking. Back in the day, the reason why relationships worked and why they lasted so long is you didn't meet strangers. You met a friend of a friend. And I really believe that the algorithm used to be your auntie and now it's technology. And so if we go back to the old algorithm of community, the chances that somebody knows somebody who knows your person are really good. So the more that you get out of the house and get off your phone, the better chance you have of meeting someone amazing.
We could continue this conversation for a while. I'm getting the note that we're short on time here. I want to ask you one last question before we go. To somebody who has a lot to think about after this conversation, is maybe watching, what would be the number one overall piece of advice or wisdom you would share as folks go into this weekend?
Well, if all you have is married friends and you're the only single person left, then you either need to ask them to help matchmake or you need to find some single friends. You need to find people that know people that are still looking for relationships. You need to expand your community. And the more you expand your community, even, friends of friends, then that is when you're really going to find success in your love life. That's the best thing you can do is expand your community.
Jackie Dorman, a dating coach who has just released a new book, Modern Dating Sucks, a Matchmaker's Guide to Finding Love in a Swipe Left World. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Zach.
Hopefully some people are going to be swiping right this weekend, or maybe even better, following Jackie's advice and hanging out in real life. What a concept.